Hello folks, I'm Paddy, and in this video I'm going to be fitting a cat flap into a PVC door for one of my customers. Now this is not the door because I forgot to take a picture of the door before I started, but anyways it looks like this one here. A large double glaze unit on the top and a smaller one on the bottom. So I'm going to be taking out the bottom double glazed unit and the cat flap will be fitted in there. So there are two options. The first option is to replace the existing double glaze unit and replace it with a double glaze unit with a hole cut in it. Now this one here is for another job I'm doing shortly, where the customer wanted an extractor fan fitted into a bathroom window. And the other option then is a flat PVC panel. So the double glaze unit with a hole cut in it is going to be the more expensive option. Also, there are several cat flaps and dog flaps that require an adapter when you're fitting it into a double glaze unit, so that will obviously add to the expense as well. And the only downside really of a PVC panel over a double glaze unit is the loss of light. The other option is a PVC panel. This is going to be the cheaper option, but the panel has to be flat. So a raised panel like this one here won't work. The cat flap has to sit flush to the surface of the panel. I've seen some DIY jobs where people have tried to fit cat flaps into these raised panels and they look absolutely horrendous. So if you want it to look right and you want it done right, remove the raised panel and fit a flat panel. So there are a couple of options when it comes to flat panels. So the cheapest option will be just a plain blank PVC panel. This can look a bit stark or clinical looking. So the other option then off the top of my head I can think of is a tongued and grooved panel, which will work as well. Now all these panels are available in different colours to suit different PVC doors. So the likes of say a mahogany wood grain or light oak wood grain effect, you can get those on the panels as well. So in this case the customer was happy to go ahead with the blank PVC panel. So there are three sizes you need to know before you order up your flat PVC panel. You need to know the width, the height and the thickness of the panel. Now I'm measuring the opening and deducting a small amount. This is a more accurate way and it's quicker for me because I'm in the business. But what you can do is remove the glazing beads from around and measure the width, height and thickness of the existing double glaze unit or panel. The most common thicknesses are 20mm, 24mm or 28mm. So this is the panel I have for the job. This is a standard size half panel, so I will have to cut it to the required size. These panels will cut really well using a circular saw, a jigsaw or even a handsaw. Just make sure you check your sizes and use a straight edge like a spirit level to mark your lines. One final thing before ordering, always ask for reinforcing in your panel. This will make it more expensive, but it's a must-have. A panel that doesn't have reinforcing will either break into bits or it will pop clean out of the door if it got like a good kick. So it's a must-have. This is an offcut from the panel and you can see here there's 2 layers of MDF reinforcing and this makes the panel really strong. Now that it's cut to size, I'm fitting it back into the door to mark out the hole for the cat flap. On every single cat flap or dog flap I've ever fitted, they all have a common measurement, and that is to measure from the belly of the cat down to the floor level. Now my customer's cat did not take kindly to me, so I had to get them to measure it for me, and they told me it was approximately 6 inches or 150mm. Next I'm measuring the width of the opening, which is 685mm, and dividing it by 2, which gives 342.5mm. This is the center point.
I'm marking 150 millimeters from the floor and 342 millimeters from the edge of the opening. So here's the cat flap that my customer has provided. I'm just checking that the bottom of the cat flap will miss the bottom glazing bead. Each make and model of cat flap will be different and will require a different sized hole. This is the required size for a PVC panel from the instructions. It is 168 millimeters wide by 175 millimeters high. So I'm dividing 168 by 2, which gives me 84. So I'm marking 84 millimeters to the right of the center point and 84 millimeters to the left of the center point. Now I'm taking the panel back out to finish marking it up. I'm checking the 3 marks all measure the same distance from the bottom of the panel. When I'm happy, I mark a line using a straight edge. Now I'm marking 175 millimeters up from the right and left points. I'm checking that the distance from the bottom right mark is the same to the mark I just made, and the same thing on the bottom left mark. When I'm happy, I mark up the lines with a straight edge. Now that I have it all marked up, I double check all the marks from the top, sides and bottom to make sure that everything is lining up correctly. I'm using a 13mm drill bit to drill a hole for the jigsaw blade, and I'm cutting it out using a jigsaw. Now that the hole is cut out, I'm fitting it back in the door. I'm pulling off the protective film. I'm lining up the center mark with the center of the opening. I'm pulling off the protective film. Now I'm refitting the glazing beads. These glazing beads just push back into place with a good push, but your glazing beads will most likely need to be tapped back into place with a hammer or a mallet. Now I'm marking up the fixing holes. The marker doesn't quite reach, so I'm pushing in a screw into the hole to mark it. I'm using a 6mm drill bit as per the instructions. This cat flap came with several different length fixing screws, so I'm just using the shortest ones to screw it together. I'm being careful not to over tighten it. A quick check inside to make sure it's level, and now I'm fitting the screw covers. It doesn't mention sealing in the instructions, but I think it would be a good idea. So I'm going rogue here and I'm sealing between the cat flap and the panel and where the inside and outside of the cat flap join. I'm using clear, low modulus silicone. A little clean up and the job's done.
Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, and thanks for watching. Cheers.